Hey everyone, thank you for joining me. In this video, I'm going over my process for painting a pet portrait. Starting off, I always add a couple layers of gesso. I typically do 3. I do sand in between each layer once they are dry. When my final layer of gesso is dry, then I go in and I add my line work. Generally, I will do my line work just right on my iPad, and then I print it out and transfer it over using a carbon transfer paper. Once that's done, I spray my line work with a workable fixative. The one I use is from Krylon. The next step that I do is I will go in with Gamsol mixed with a little bit of oil paint and just tone my canvas. In this particular painting, I use transparent red oxide. This gives you a nice mid-tone so you're not working from a bright white canvas and helps you get your values a little bit more accurate. When it comes to actually painting the portrait, I do work from dark to light with my paints, meaning I do go in with my darkest paint and work my way up into my lightest paint for the value. I'll also generally start with the eyes of the pet. This is just a preference, there's no real reason behind it. I am easily distracted and I do find a lot of satisfaction in completing areas of a painting as I go, which is why you will see me generally paint my portraits in one layer. I do always go through with a second layer in the end, but it's not a full layer of paint going on the canvas at this point. It's just kind of touching up areas I want to fix or fine tune, maybe adding a little bit more details. Once I'm done painting that first layer of the pet, I will go in and add the background. Typically, I find clients request that the background is just the background that's in their reference image that they've sent me, but blurred so that their pet is the main focal point. I prefer this as well. I find it really helps them pop. Occasionally, I'll have people that want to add a different background or just do solid colors, and that totally works too. It ultimately just comes down to the client's preference. It is a painting of their pet and it will be hanging in their home. After I've added the background, then I go in with my second layer on the pet itself, adding any details like brightening up eyes, maybe adding whiskers. This is also the stage where I will take a picture of the painting and I send it to the client and just see if there's anything that they would like changed, maybe added. For the most part, I don't usually have to make a lot of changes. It's occasionally just changing a background around, maybe darkening a certain area on a pet just to get it to the closest likeness that we can. When my client is happy with the painting and there's no more changes to make, then it's just a waiting game of the paint drying. I don't really use medium when it comes to my portraits. I occasionally will add some linseed oil just to thin some paint out. Linseed oil will slow the drying time, but not significantly enough that I find it makes a big impact. Most of my paintings will be touch dry within 48 hours, unless there's a lot of white. Once my painting has dried, then I get to varnish. Generally, I will use Gamblin's Gamvar. I use the satin version. I also have a Winsor & Newton spray varnish that I really like. It's matte. That one I mainly use for my wood ornaments though. And that pretty much covers it. If there's any questions that you guys have about painting pet portraits, feel free to leave a comment. I'm by no means a professional. I taught myself how to paint a few years ago just by watching videos similar to this, and I found them so helpful. So hopefully I'm able to give someone else some tips and pointers on how to do their own pet portraits. And if you guys have made it this far, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.